TV. The world is thinking.
All right, Stuart Schultzke here with Fora TV and others in Copenhagen, and happen to have Thom, Yorke of Radiohead and other initiatives with me. Thom, first of all, you're a little bit. You get a photograph. I like that. You are just a little bit out of the ordinary in terms of the characters that are here right now.
The only guy with red pants.
Exactly, the only guy with red pants, and possibly the only guy that's not wearing a suit within like 20 feet. Well, that's not true.
There's some hippies here.
Okay. So what brought you here? I mean, obviously we're all here for COP15, but what specifically was it that drew you here? Was it somebody's invitation? Was it your own initiative?
Partly a friend of mine was coming that I wanted to come with, who I was involved in getting a climate bill passed in the UK, somewhat similar to the one that hopefully Obama's going to try and get passed next year, where the UK committed to, what was it now, 90% reductions by 2050, 40% by 2020, and that got me hooked into this stuff, although it burnt me out for a while. I mean, this is the first time I've got back into it. But
what was your role in that as an advocate interacting with?
I was their hairy mascot. I helped launch it and so on. It was a quite a difficult thing to do, but it rode a crest of a wave in public opinion, and amazingly we got it passed. It was the first one anywhere in the world.
What is it like being somebody who is very much in the creative world, trying to translate your creativity into political action? I would imagine that
well, you probably know, but political life is, you don't get any more stale and stultifying than this. I'm utterly, completely out of my depth and have no wish to spend any more time than I have to in this environment.
Can you explain that a little bit? You've seen things, obviously, that are very frustrating to you, such as? Just the nonsense of so much of the discussion when that discussion has passed, and we need to be working out the practicalities of the action that we need to take. That to me is mind-boggling, especially, I guess I've had no experience of this before. I know it's the UN and all that. I'm stunned, for example, that there's this whole like G8 vibe going on. That somehow, when these negotiations started up last week, you know, they were drawing up text in the background and then throwing them forward and stuff. This is a global agreement, right? So do it globally. So seeing the sort of like the elite top-down kind of approach to this problem is something you find particularly bothering.
That stuns me, because that reminds me of Genoa, the G8 summit in Genoa with the riots. It reminds me of like the summit they had in Scotland. Just this whole, you know, it reminds me of Seattle. It's like every time they do it, every time, and this is way, way, way beyond naked country's self-interest. It's gone, man. We're past that stage now, you know. And it just stuns me that there are politicians here. I can't help thinking it's because they're all of a certain age, they've been in politics too long, they're all men, and they're not getting out enough. That's what I think.
That's a pretty powerful assessment there. How long? How long have you actually personally tried? I mean, you mentioned this legislation you helped get passed in the UK, but how long would you say you've actually been involved in political processes where climate issues are concerned?
I basically have not been ever. I don't want to be. It did fascinate me briefly when we were doing the bill in the UK, but to me it's a world I don't wish to understand, really. But to me, so much of this sort of negotiation in politics is a self-perpetuating entity and utterly meaningless.
Who else in the creative world do you see that is really like fighting the fight right now? I mean, are there other people out there that are
are as engaged as you are.
There seems to be lots in the US nowadays, which is good. But I mean, I can't name any names.
Finally, what would you're obviously extremely frustrated, disenchanted with the process, but what if your like ideal was realized in something that came out finally this weekend, what would it be?
If I was to look for something positive in this, and I'm trying, it would be that the world leaders came here simply because of pressure from their domestic, from the countries they represent and from the people in those countries. And I don't think that's going to go away, and I don't think we're going to get what we want, but I equally don't think they're going to fob you or I off. Anything they draw up, if it's full of shit, we're going to smell it. That's good, but it's not good enough. Hopefully the fact that they feel such pressure, hopefully the fact they've chosen to be here, something positive is going to come out of that, because these negotiations have effectively been going on for 20 years. But this is the first time, maybe, that there's a spark. It shouldn't be a spark, it should be a fire already, but it's not.
Thanks so much.